In the quiet of a riverside village, a girl named Zara was born. Poverty shadowed her days, but her mother's words lit her heart. Even a candle shines brightest in the darkest room. That single flame became her hope. At 14, Zara found her gift, storytelling. She spoke of heroes who conquered storms, though secretly she doubted herself. The villagers mocked her dreams, yet she kept writing, believing the stars above listened when no one else did. At 19, she left her village with nothing but a notebook. The city was harsh, unforgiving. Rejection followed her everywhere. Hunger became a familiar companion. But her pen never stopped moving. One day, in the silence of a library, a teacher saw her gift. "You have words that can heal," he whispered. That moment changed her life. With his help, Zara's first story was published, the tale of a little girl by the river who dreamed too big. Her words spread like fire, igniting hope in broken hearts. From village huts to crowded cities, her stories carried light. Zara became more than a writer, she became a voice for the forgotten. Years passed. Zara wore no crown, yet her legacy shone brighter than gold. Her wealth was the lives she lifted, the voices she awakened. On her final day, surrounded by dreamers, she whispered her mother's words once more. Even a candle shines brightest in the darkest room. Zara's story is a reminder, your past does not define your future. With faith, resilience, and vision, even the smallest flame can light. Zara's world was still wrapped in silence, but inside her heart, a storm of courage began to rise. She knew she could no longer remain hidden in the shadows. Every pain she carried had to be transformed into strength. She enrolled in evening classes, trembling with fear at first. But each lesson was a seed of confidence planted in her soul. Slowly, her broken spirit began to mend. Ghosts of her past whispered doubts. "You are not enough. You will never rise." But Zara refused to surrender. She looked in the mirror, tears in her eyes, and declared, "I am worthy of light." She found friendship in places she never expected, women who had walked through similar fires. Together, they became pillars for one another, each carrying the other when weakness appeared. The day Zara stood on a small stage to share her story was the day she reclaimed her voice. Her words shook not just the crowd, but herself. She realized she had survived for a reason. She was no longer just a woman who survived pain. She was becoming a guide, a light for others who still stumbled in the dark. Her scars were no longer chains, but stars pointing the way. From shadow to light, Zara's journey was only beginning. She was no longer afraid of her reflection. Instead, she was ready to step fully into her destiny. Zara had